What's up YouTube, Capo here, and welcome to the 8th week of the Little Cup Champions League as we, the Vancouver Wingulls, have a huge opportunity in front of us, and that is that we can clinch first place in the standings and clinch our spot in the finals. So this is a huge match for us. I don't care who you're talking to, this is a big match for us. So be sure to smash that like button, and if you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe and continue on following the Vancouver Wingulls and myself, as we're pretty close to the finals. It's pretty much in grabbing distance for us. So let's get this on its way, and I'm just gonna send out Starbucks over here because I enjoy my Starbucks. Man, Starbucks is making a big performance, been coming in every week, and Diglett will come in as I'm just gonna burn this Diglett because I'm like, you know what, Diglett, I don't appreciate your tone, you look funny at me, and I'm just gonna burn you. So that's how it's gonna be. And Diglett can't do much at that moment, so I pretty much crippled that thing, and I figured, hey, he's not gonna stay in, there's no way, I'm just gonna go for double Will-O-Wisps, but I miss my attack, and then I'm like, well, this thing is scary. Ghastly is a really scary mon. It does some big damage on different teams, and my special attack will rise at this moment, so he's just gonna go for a Thunderbolt. That's gonna do it's gonna do a decent amount of damage, and it's just gonna be this awkward dance of Ghastly versus Duck Dodgers because Ghastly's gonna end up setting up a Trick Room, which is something that I did not expect. I'm like, wow, my mind is blown away over here as I'm just gonna go for a Shadow Ball. Ends up Meowth is immune to it. I really wanted to take out Ghastly at this moment, and the Trick Room might go a bit against him because my team is slow from the get-go. It sort of relies on agility or something to really make it somewhat fast, but hey, what do you know? What do you know? As I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp this Meowth, he stays in, and I'm like, yes! Diglett, Meowth, two physical attackers are now burnt and somewhat crippled, so Starbucks has done his job of crippling some big threats on his team, and I'm not too I'm proud of Starbucks for doing that. That's some good gusto on his part. As he's just gonna send out Ghastly, I'm gonna go for the Pain Split, and I'm like, this thing is going to be the bane of my existence because now it's just becoming Starbucks versus Porygon, and it's only about time. It's gonna happen that I'm gonna get critted. I'm gonna be like, oh man, that really did happen. That's not good. As he's just gonna keep on going for Thunderbolts, I'm gonna easily eat that up, and Duck Dodgers is looking pretty fine over here. As Meowth now comes in, and I can just simply go for Recover. So my big concern over here is Meowth can possibly do some damage on my team just because, like I said, I don't want to receive a knockoff. This is my Eviolite user, I believe, or it could be Mean Chow, one of the two. Starbucks doesn't really care about knockoff, and Meowth is slowly going to go down to burn damage, thankfully, as he's just going to send out Ghastly. No point of predicting over here, it would just speed up the process, but I end up just going for a safe Sludge Bomb. I want to get as much damage as I can on this Ghastly. This Ghastly has no reliable recovery, and whatever damage I can get on it's some decent damage, so I'm just going to send out Egg. I wanted this thing to stop because it was starting to become annoying, as I'm just going to go for a knockoff over here. I do believe I went for the knockoff. Go for the knockoff. Yes, there we go. I do go for the knockoff, and the Tanga Berry will be gone. And once again, thankfully I do have the Papaya Berry. I was really prepping for Psychic on Ghastly, but Extra Sensory on Executor with the Papaya Berry won't take out Aang, as Aang is a beast at this moment. So I'm really happy that worked out. I was a bit doubtful on that, but hey, what do you know? My preparation did come in hand over there, so that was a cool KO to get. As I'm just gonna get my check to Snowball, which is my Starbucks over here. Enjoy my Starbucks coffee, but what do you know? I'm just gonna go for a Pain Split. And this perhaps was a misplay on my part, just because I could have Will-O-Wisp this thing. I was convinced that he was not gonna stay in, and it ends up that Dimensions will return back to normal. And he switches out, and I'm like, oh snap, I could have poisoned, or I could have burnt his Snowball, Meowth, and Dugtrio, the three things that could possibly hit me on the physical side, but I end up burning his Ghastly, which is nice. Somewhat nice. as I'm just gonna make another switch back into Porygon, as Porygon can totally check this Mon, and he ends up switching, or he ends up going for a Sludge Bomb, which gets a crit, and I'm like, wow, that did a lot of damage. That crit really did matter. That really bit me in the butt, and I'm like, well, this is gonna make things tougher. It's gonna make things really, really tough. So he ends up taking Dock Dodgers, which is my check to Ghastly, and now I have to start making some plays at this time because I don't really have much to take out Ghastly. So now I'm forced to go for a knockoff of the sorts. As we can tell over here, I finally take out Ghastly, a huge threat to Spritzy itself, but he still has Magnemite. And I'm like, who do I not need? Who do I not need? And ends up, I don't really need Magnemite, which is a good move on my part because I knock off the Berry Juice, which means this thing will not get back to full health. And that really paid off for me in the long run. Chowder didn't really have much to do in this battle just because, well, a couple things don't have, yeah, a couple things didn't really matter on that side. So I'm going to end up knocking off the Diglett's Eviolite, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool to see. Diglett with Eviolite, as he's just going to go for an Earthquake, do a decent amount of damage on me. And I decided I'd just go for a bulk up because I'm like, Diglett can't knock me out. There's no way. As he ends up living on 1 HP on the burn. I was convinced that Diglett would not live the burn, and it ends up living the burn. So a bit of a misplay on my part. I took a lot of damage that I didn't really want to take, and I'm gonna have to go into something else over here because I could get Regenerator. As I go right into Starbucks, I do believe I go into Starbucks. I need a free switch in. I know the fake out could be coming my way or the knockoff, but he ends up going for Retaliate, which is something I did not see coming. Even now, post commentating, I did not see that coming. So kudos to him for going for that. I didn't see that coming at all. As I'm gonna go right into Skipper. And this allows me to actually start setting up my substitute over here. I did not think that Meowth would outspeed me, but then I'm like, wait, Meowth is incredibly fast. And he ends up knocking out my berry, which was a berry for ground attacks because I really wanted to do some decent damage on Magnemite. As I'm just going to go for a Swords Dance over here. Swords Dance might be able to take out this Magnemite, and ends up doing a decent amount of damage on this Magnemite, which is, well, that surprised me. He ends up going for Gravity, which I'm like, wait, does Acrobatics hit? It ends up hitting, which is something that I did not know. Kudos to him for going for that play, but at this moment, Skipper can actually finish up the match. The Gravity play was a huge risk just because this allowed Skipper to really take hold of the battle. And I guess this was this Hail Mary pass, hoping that Acrobatics would not get affected by Gravity. So he had a bit of fun on that, and shout out to him for having fun on that. That was a play that I never saw coming. Planning for this battle, I did not see Trick Room, I did not see Gravity, and Retaliate was something I did not see. So that was really awesome to see, and we will actually clinch first place in the Little Cup Champions League this week, that's really awesome to see, just because we're going to be in the finals in the very first season, and going into this season, our expectations weren't really that high. We wanted to make the playoffs, but we weren't sure if we could, just because this is a brand new format. So we reached that magic number, and now we have clinched the first place spot. So now we can sort of relax, we can have a little fun with the Little Cup and see what we can try out, see what works, what doesn't work, and we have to wait for our opponent, as it's a really tight race for second in this league. So if you guys have supported the Vancouver Wingulls for this long, thank you so much, and I'm so happy to announce that we are in the finals right now, and we're just gonna wait our opponent. We got to finish our last 2 battles, and we're gonna see how we do in the finals. So right now it's just a waiting game. We're gonna see who we meet up, and yeah, so thanks for watching. This is Cap, signing off.